Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well and had a good weekend. So, let's say hello to everyone. Receive Apex email. Go live in the group. A lot of people are complaining they can't buy evals. Not too sure. Apex, not too sure about that. I've got my activate emails. Not too sure, actually. Anyway, let's say hello. So, Karina, good morning to you. Kenny, how you doing? Who we missed down there? I own this little hammer. Excellent. Okay. So, yeah. Exponential. Sorry, I didn't see you there, mate. So, what's this about Apex then? Email to go live. Speedy, how you doing? How you doing, Tony? Email to go live. Not sure what that is. The only emails I've had is the for the 90% off. Let me just have a check. I am waiting for a payment. Been 5 days now. So let me have a look. I've got Apex. What are the funding rules? Common questions. Let me just check my junk. Apex. Memorial Day sale. I've had nothing from Apex. Special affiliate letter. Message from Apex saying about changes. Well, not saying what the changes are, but so apart from that, so I've got nothing. Okay, so let's have a look at. They did, excuse me, the go live thing ages ago, and it came to nothing. Not too sure actually. Not too sure. Anyway, okay, so Friday, had a rough day Friday. That is the first time I've lost a bunch of accounts like that this year, to be honest with you. And it kind of felt like it was due. My trading's been a bit finicky lately. I've been taking risks, and I think it was overdue, I think. But, you know, oddly enough, I actually felt fine. Didn't stress me, didn't get me down. I told my wife about it, I had a chat with her, I went, look, it happens. And, you know, we see people like, if you look at Alpine, before he went away on his holidays, lost about 12 or 14 accounts, literally wiped him out. I think this month he's applied for 49,000 quid's worth of, for $49,000 worth of payment. So, losing accounts, I've come to realise, although a pain in the arse and slightly costly, don't necessarily stop things from happening. So what I did is I picked up four what's the word I'm looking for? 4 Tradeify accounts straight to live. You can see I've got 4 of them there, that one and the other. So 4 straight to live. Now, they cost a little bit extra money, but I'm thinking by the time I end up blowing about 4 or 5 evaluations, passing one and then paying the fee, I'm more or less paying the same anyway. So I thought I'd give them a go. So I've got these now. Plus, I've still got my one account. Plus, I passed an evaluation. I think it was it yesterday? I think I passed it. Was it last night? I think when the market opens. So that will take me up to 6 accounts again. So I'm okay with that. Tradeify accounts, I think they are, let me have a look. They cost me about £250. So I think the 50,000 ones are 509. And there is 35% off at the moment, which take them to $330 divided by 1.33. Cost me about £250. So yeah, $330. Trouble is, but if you fail 4 and pass your 5th when you got 80% off Apex, you're paying $300 anyway. So I thought I'd just have a few of these. So yeah, straight to fund anyway. So I thought, but they're not cheap. And if you're having issues still with still learning, I definitely stay well away from them. If you're learning and you're just going through the starting route or something like that, stay well away from anything expensive. So I've got 6 accounts. I knew they were struggling financially now. The faster they can put people to live. Yeah. I think as well, live, I suppose, is definitely better for them. I think the one thing about going to live is they kind of get rid of the risk. They put your money onto a live account, and if you make money, I'm assuming they skim 10% off the top. And if you lose money, it's, you know, it's directly losing. I think that's the way all these prop firms are going to go. You know, they may say, okay, the first 3 payments will pay you, and if you're making regular money, 3, 4 or 5 payments, then they'll put you onto live. There's no point in them keep paying you because it's a sim. So it does seem, but I haven't had any straight to, especially the way I've been trading lately. I'll be surprised. I'll be the last person. So what company? Oh, Tradeify. Tradeify, straight to funded. Tradeify. Yeah, it's all right. I'm just thinking. So yeah, straight to funded. So I'm back up to 6 accounts anyway. So at least I'm sort of back up in the potential. Now, another good thing about Tradeify is you've got to get the account to $3,000. Then you can take $2,000. Now, if you've got an Apex account to $3,000, you can only take $900. So effectively, you can make double when you get it to 3,000. Bearing in mind that will take your account down to $1,000, so it's still, you know, still kind of worth saving. So, you know, I kind of like that. So, and the slight downside is it's a 90-10 split. So if you earn $2,000, they take $200, which is not the end of the world, really. You're still earning $1,800, which is double what you can draw from Apex, being $900 if you got the count to 3,000. So that's what I've decided to do. What I'd like to do in an ideal world is to have a bit of a bunch of companies, you know, maybe 5 accounts from Apex, 5 accounts from Tradeify, 5 accounts from Take Profit, 5 accounts from My Funded Futures, something like that. The thing is, you never quite know if things are getting difficult, you know, if there are people trying to scam them and costing them extra money. I don't know. You never know how long some of these companies may decide to fold. I certainly like the fact that people like Apex, I think Tradeify have been around for a little while now. I know My Funded Futures and Take Profit Trader have a good name. Apex has been around for a few years now, so I tend to usually wait a little bit to see what to get a feel for some of these companies before I kind of start invest. But I think it's a good idea to just diversify a little and just get a little bit of, you know, have your sort of finger in a few pies that way. If one of your pies decides to, pack up and leave, then it won't financially affect you as much. So what are we looking at here? You didn't hear the company. Let me show you. Tradeify. Okay, that's the company there. I am waiting for an affiliate thing for them for some reason. They take a bit of time. But yeah, that's it, Tradeify. You'd have probably heard of it, I think. I know there's the pricing. I've opted for that. The frustrating thing about this is you have to get the account, the live account or the funded account, to $9,000 before you can take a payment. Whereas this one, you need to get it to 3,000 and then you can take a two. So I think this is better. It's got a slightly smaller drawdown, which is not a major issue, but also it's an end of day drawdown. So I think that mitigates that little drop. There is a consistency rule of 20%, but in all fairness, if you're trading the account normally and properly, that should never be an issue. If I got to get to $3,000, my biggest day can be $600. I don't think that's that bad, to be honest with you. I'd really make $600 in a day anyway, to be honest with you. The good thing about Tradeify is profit target contracts drawdown moves up proportionally 50, unlike Apex. Yeah, I mean, all these companies have sort of pros and cons. Let's have a look. 5 contracts, 3K target, 10 contracts, 6K target. Yeah, 15.9. Yeah, $9,000, quite a lot to get to, isn't it? I like the fact that I've paid for these now, and these, I've got 4. That's cost me $1,250, somewhere about that. But if I get one of them to $3,000 and draw 2,000, which pays me 1,800, it's more than pay for that. And if you get 5 accounts and you get them to 3,000, you can withdraw $10,000. You lose $1,000 in the 90-10 split, but it's still pretty good. No different contracts, drawdown, targets, all the same ratio. I like the fact that you can go straight to funded. Now, I know Apex has been talking about this, and I got an email from them. I think most of us got one, just saying it's quite ironic, really, isn't it, that they're talking about schemers and scammers. It's quite ironic, isn't it? But what I like about it is I find evaluations an absolute pain in the arse, because they encourage you to get into bad habits. I trade them stupidly, and you can get into bad habits. And what I found is if I'm trying to pass one and I ended up failing 5, I'm frustrated. And sometimes, excuse me, I can take that into me trading. So it's just a pain. Quick thing, Karina. As Jan spoke to you, was he? I know Jan is stopping the Discord. He's just hasn't got the time to put into the Discord. So he did say if either me or you wanted to take over it. It's difficult with me. I'm not super techie when it comes to that, and obviously with the stream. But you can take over the Discord if you want, Karina. It's up to you. I think you put a message on there somewhere for you to have a look at. So have a look at it and have a think about it. It's my fault, really. When I said I was going to cut down my hours, I encouraged him, really, and then I just found I didn't have the time. I just tend to quickly flick around and find out. So I think he's also stopping the software as well. I just think it's taking up so much of his time. Posted in the Facebook and the Discord. So I think it's taken up a lot of time, this software. I know he told me once how many pages of code just went into this one bit of software. It was unreal. The Discord, yeah. He asked me if I wanted to take over it or Karina. I haven't got the time, really. It's difficult. I tried to do one before and just didn't have the time to put into it. The one that Jan started, where is it? This one here. Jan started it for us. So he did ask if me or Karina wanted to kind of take over the running of it. It's difficult for me just having the time, to be honest with it. But he has put a little message in. There is a mod room in there which Jan's put it in. So I think Karina might take. I don't know. We'll see anyway. But he's put a message in anyway. So yeah, so we'll see how that gets on anyway. So what's going on here anyway? Let's have a little look. Yeah, it's my fault, really. I kind of said I was going to go down a different route a little bit and spend less time streaming. But when I did it, it just didn't feel right. So channel, maybe a bit of an overshoot. Is this pushing up? Kind of looks like it might be, but I'm not sure at the moment. Is there something wider there? There may be. Doesn't fit terrible. It's hard to say at the moment. And I tend to flick between a few. I like to see what Dan's doing. I like to see what Thomas Wade's doing. So I do spend a bit of time flicking backwards and forwards, and I find that difficult sometimes. So there may be something like that, I don't know, but just for now I'm going to suggest that there may be an overshoot, but it's just a bit hard to say at the moment. Yeah, I've got some news coming up in about 15 minutes, so we'll just got to pay attention to that as well. So yeah, this 90% off is just for a couple of days, today and tomorrow. We kind of hope they do something. So yeah, I'm hoping that Apex do a straight to funded. There's definitely a place for the evaluations for newer traders. You don't want to be paying straight to funded for newer traders. You're just going to get chopped up. It's hard enough for us ones who've been around for a few years. Sean, how you doing, buddy? Apex up the fees. Yeah, I mean, it used to be for the 50 grand, it used to be 140 anyway. And then it went down to 85 for a while, then up to 130. They put it back to where they originally had it now. I was kind of hoping they'd just keep it at a flat 85. I thought that was really good. But I suppose at least they've got the 90% off, so that mitigates that extra $10, doesn't it? Isn't it about $16 at the moment? We normally pay 35, don't we, or 33, so 26, so yeah. It's hard to know what's going on here, whether this is pushing up. We didn't quite get to these lows. Just check.
Order submitted.
Opening. Yeah.
Order cancelled.
Quick question I was going to ask you guys. These Tradeify accounts, I'm trading them through Tradeify. Now, when accounts open in Rhythmic, I know how to shut them down. How do I go about shutting them down if something goes wrong? I know with Rhythmic, I keep Rhythmic open, and if something does happen to freeze or something doesn't close down, I know how to do it. How do I do it with Tradeify? Something I've not yet tried. Tradeify tab of the related accounts. What, actually open Tradeify the software itself, yeah? Have a little look. page. Okay, so Tradeify login. So if I log in, don't need any app. So I've got on this at the moment. So this is sort of log me in. What do I do here? How do I click? Click on simulation. Let's move this out of the way in case it gives any details. Christ, it's actually open. Is that right? It's open that. I don't have to keep that open, do I? Equity top right. Here somewhere, is it? Where does it say exit all positions? That's not it, is it? No. Application settings, chat, notifications, reports. Equity. What am I missing? Go to my equity. Next to account. Where's my account? It's none of these, is it? Top right. Oh. In front of you. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? Where the hell's my account? There. Equity. Exit. Okay. Gotcha. So just click that and click exit all positions. I got you. So I've got to keep this whole page up. Yeah, that's a ball ache. You think there'd be an easy way of doing it. You have got to keep the whole page up. So all I could do is just keep that up there, can I? And then make it a bit smaller. Works great, does it? Good on you, mate. That'll do me. Let me just make it the right size so I can see it. Could actually leave it like that, couldn't you? Do you just leave it like that, bud, do you? Yeah, and all I got to do then is click there and like, okay, I'll leave it like that. Oh, that's not too bad. That's not, at least I know now. Trouble is, I know how to do it with what's it. I'm not trading Apex at the moment. I'm still waiting for that damn payout. So all I got to do is select that, haven't I? Yeah, sound. Gotcha. Happy days. Hey, Daryl, how you doing, buddy? So what is going on here? We've got two legs up here, maybe a lower high. I don't know. It's not super clear here. Are you able to trade your Tradeify, Tradeify accounts at the same time as... I am, mate, yeah. I haven't got... I haven't got it open at the moment. I'm waiting on my account. So I've got Rhythmic open. The reason I've got it up because I want to see the balance come out my account, the payment. But yeah, you can do. So yeah, it's hard to know what to do at the moment. when you do so, you show me how you do it. It's pretty straightforward, mate. So if I my account here, if I go into connections, you can see me Tradeify, and there's me Rhythmic, there's in my fund of futures. So if I select Rhythmic, you'll see it pop up in a second. It's gone yellow. It takes a bit of time, Rhythmic, for some reason. So you can see my fund of futures, me four my fund of futures accounts. And that's the Apex one. There's the PA there, yeah. So yeah, so you can do it all the same time. And if I go into Replicanto, 1, 2, 3, 4 Tradeify accounts, and there's my that's the evaluation I passed, and there's my other PA account. How you doing, Jan? I think 10 range chart with volume profile looks very good. It's trying to find, see what I've done, Jan, as well. Somebody last week, I can't remember, it was Brandt, mentioned the 15 bar range as well. So I've got this as well, just to have a look. What I found sometimes a setup here it looks clear. There was one the other day, we had 2 attempts up, and there was a short there, and it didn't work. And then we went a little bit higher on the 15 range bar. It looks solid. So I've got the 2 up. Okay, we've got news coming up in 5 minutes. So I've got the two of them just to sort of have a look. Sometimes this can be a bit congested, but it doesn't look like it. So it's just finding a comfortable way, finding a nice way to trade it. But there was a trade, I think it was Thursday. Let me just have a look. Which looked good, but it didn't work. Here it is. Let me have a look. I can't remember what it was now. It was a second entry short and it failed. Yeah, that was it there. I think that was it anyway. No, I'm sure it was a bit tighter than that. I can't remember now. But it didn't work. And then we went a touch high and that did work. And when I looked on the 15 range bar, it looked really nice. I can't remember where it was now, to be fair. So it's finding a way, just whatever new stuff. But I mean, even if you look at this, we had 2 nice leg down, that worked, and a higher low worked beautifully. 2 beautiful legs down and a bullish bar there. Channel up, 2 legs back, 1, 2, 3 triple test worked beautifully. You do see more, but just on the odd occasion, a really good setup on here doesn't work, or it didn't work. I can't remember where it was. It this one. It might have been that. I mean, look how nice that looks, and it didn't work. So depends how you're looking at it, really. I mean, this was today, wasn't it? So it's a little finicky, but I think it's, for me, there's more setups on here than there are on the ES, and you know, so. But it's learning how to use it. I don't think it's a massive learning curve. I think it won't take you long. But I've just got that 15 range bar just to give me a slightly broader picture. So I don't get caught in the detail, if you know what I mean. So I'm looking at both of those. I think the 10 range with volume profile. Yeah, I don't fully understand volume profile. Is that where you just, okay, news in 2 minutes. Is that where you just get where the sort of, you know, where the most volume is? Is that what you mean? I know there's volume profile, order flow. There's a few, isn't there? I'm pretty sure it's just where you get the lines here and it just shows you where the most volume is. Bear in mind, my fund and futures account easily gets order stuck if you copy trade more than one account. Does it really? My fund and futures. Yeah. Something about my fund of futures that bugged me. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was now. I wish they'd hurry up and process that payment. It's been in for 5 days now. I know there's been the bank holiday weekend, so whether that slows things down. I lost many accounts with copy trade and my fund of futures. Yeah, there was something that annoyed me about my fund of futures. I can't remember what it was, which is why I haven't had another since. I do like the sound of Take Profit Trader. Strangely enough, I like that you've got to trade an evaluation for 5 days. I think it encourages people to slow down a bit. Don't get me wrong, I like the 1 day and you jump straight in, but I think sometimes it can, it encourages you to go kind of, what the hell happened there? Did we just have about 5 bars formed in here in a second? Just flicked up and down. News, of course. Huh. Silly me. Yeah, of course, news. Okay, that's sorted there anyway. Yeah, we had a quick flick up and down there, and it just pinged about 4 bars in a second. It's bad trades, separate companies. Yeah, the trouble is, here's my 30-minute chart. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. I need to, I don't think it hurts adding stuff like that to your screen. What, you're using NinjaTrader? Is this NinjaTrader, is it, Jan? Order flow volume profile. I'll have a look at that later. You can do it in 2 days. It is. I've got that picture now. I'm going to have a look at that later and put that on one of my other charts, I think. I definitely prefer this to the ES. Sorry, let's rephrase that. They're both the ES. To the 2000 tick chart, I just think is crap lately. It may be the way it is. I think it's good to look at them together, though. But I find there are more setups on here. Now, what I will say is we've got a channel down there. We had 1, 2, 3. You may think a triple test here. Now, the only downside to a triple test is that one didn't work. 1, 2, 3. It was a triple test, but it didn't work for much. So that wouldn't have given me my 3 points. So, I mean, we've had some absolutely beautiful looking charts over the last couple of weeks, but you don't always get one. At the moment, it's not fantastic. But it does tend to look really good when we're really trending. Where the bars are in congestion. Okay, so if the volume's high there, that's when most of the volume's coming in. And if we're at support, if there was a lot of volume here at support, that volume will likely be where sellers have come in previously. Is that it? Is that sum it up roughly? Helps avoid the 5 or 6 point bars. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's not perfect this, but I find there are probably 3 times the amount of setups on the range chart than on the 2000 tick chart. And the trouble is, like Karina mentioned, split them up a bit. The trouble is, if you're only getting one decent setup every couple of 3 days, you're not going to be taking many trades. So Dan has now put that like that. I did look at that earlier because it fits kind of nice there. How many capital uses? He does, doesn't he? Yeah, volume profile based on his strategy. I was thinking about learning it. Yeah, I do watch him from time to time. He trades out of the normal scope of ours, obviously being from New Zealand. He's got kind of a completely different time frame when his tick charts are congested. The volume is high. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to look into stuff like that, really. So this may still come down. I know people swear by the footprint chart as well. Is that what I'm saying? Is that what I'm thinking? Order flow. People swear by it. Apparently there is a learning curve with it, but people swear by it. But I think, from what I can gather, it's better for traders who may be going for slightly bigger moves. Going for 3 points may not be as beneficial. Although I don't really know. Yeah, I need to watch a few videos about volume profile, don't I? I mean, even if it can stop me from taking a trade, if I'm taking a trade into an area that there may be particularly a lot of volume or something that. If you know Pats, you don't need. No, you don't really, do you? I don't think. I just think this is a much better chart. Now there was trades here. You can see a little channel breaker, a new high bearish bar, but you don't know whether there's two legs down. There's a perfect measured move there, so you don't know whether this is going to continue up. You would kind of think that it may do two legs back, but that came down. So there was a lower high there. And there was also a second entry short there, but this looks a bit congested to me. So I just kind of sat tight a little bit. You may argue there's a small break there, but channel break new high. You can't really take this. It's hard to know at the moment. It's fitting here. And there's a second entry short there, but same again, a bit congested. So not all the time this looks fantastic, but sometimes it really does look good. And anything that gives you an extra couple of trades a week, or at least gives you the option to, pick up an extra couple of trades a week. Footprint is good for scalpers too. And you can set stop losses inside the bar based on, I suppose you can do, can't you? You see a little more like absorption, stacked imbalances. Yeah, I don't think any skill that you learn about these various different indicators is a bad thing. I think, any of these new skills you pick up, I suppose, are only going to help you, even maybe just give you more of an understanding about, what's going on inside. I mean, we know. We can tell you when the bar's finished. Has it finished on its, is it finished more bullish, more bearish, or is it neutral? But that's kind of it. And sometimes in an uptrend, you get a really strong bullish bar that crosses over and drops. So, sometimes these bars can, maybe get you into a trade, but they don't necessarily give you much information on what's going on inside them. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to be able to hold on to trades a little bit longer, and I suppose, order flow there probably would help you as well. But I know a lot of people swear by it. Okay, down Dan's got this. Okay, he's got the same chart as me. Mm. Yeah, I mean, Thomas Wade has got that like that with an overshoot, and that could be the case as well. I will say with that, working along that midline, the trouble is, if you're looking at this with a break, there's a chance you'd expect this to come down. Hey, Ben, how you doing, buddy? I'm all right, mate, not too bad. But then if we got an overshoot, as we know, an overshoot can result in a reversal. But I mean, this looks like it's quite lightly ranging at the moment anyway. So we opened here, we're more or less here now. We've been down, up. So we just seem to be tracing from top to bottom. So my guess is we're more likely just ranging at the moment. So whether this does come down or not. An overshoot, and so it's a reversal at this point. Yeah, I kind of like that, but Dan's got it like that. But this to me doesn't look like a couple of breaks and it's going to come down. So my guess is I've got it like that on here. I'm quite happy with that, to be honest with you. I know Thomas Wade's got it that way. Dan's got it that. I don't think it really matters anyway. I mean, like that, you may expect it to come down. I don't know whether it's gone up a little bit too far now that it to come down. We've pushed above it. We may come down and bounce maybe at the open or something. I don't, who knows at the moment. Not a great deal we can really do at the moment. Yeah, but if anybody did miss it, I lost a bunch of accounts on Friday. Made me stop. It felt like it was overdue that it was going to happen. I just lost confidence a minute, moved me stop a bit. And once you move it and it goes against you, sometimes it's very hard to move it back. You kind of don't accept the fact that you're losing money and you're hoping and keeping your fingers crossed it comes back, and it didn't. But strange enough, I was actually really okay. Now, 12 months ago, I'd have been absolutely gutted for a week. But, later that day, I actually felt okay. I talked to my wife about it and she said, well, you know, it happens now. Sometimes it happens, but, you've made money every month for the last 5 months. So although it's the first time I've lost a bunch of accounts, I've lost individual accounts, newer accounts that I've taken a bit of a risk on because they're new. But that's the first time I've lost a bunch of accounts. Now, fortunately, all of them have kind of paid out. Those accounts, really, I've had going for quite a while, but I was okay with them. I realise now that losing accounts doesn't necessarily mean, you're up shit creek without a paddle. It's just a matter of you got to add some more. So, I'm okay about it. I've seen, Nutty and Alpine blowing way more than me, and they still seem to be making a ton of money. So it's not a great habit to get into, losing accounts, because obviously accounts cost you money. But it's not the end of the world if something does go wrong. But I now have set myself a daily loss of $500. So if any of my accounts hit a $500 loss, even if I'm in a trade, it's just going to liquidate the trade and get me out. So I know now, very, very worst, my worst day would be a $500 loss per account. You can recover from that. I have a few times. But the trouble is saying, 2 trades, 2 losses and you're out. But if you're moving, you stop. It's kind of, I either consider doing that, either locking me stop or having a daily loss. The thing about locking your stop is if you drop it in the wrong place by accident, say you're taking this, and if you drop the stop too high by accident or something goes wrong, you can't move it back. You can move it towards. So I kind of like having that little bit of control. Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not. But you know, my point being that it's not the end of the world if it does happen. You know, you can recover if you lose accounts. But that's the longest I've gone this whole year, and probably even a while before Christmas as well, without blowing accounts. I've blown individual ones where I've taken risks on newer accounts. But the ones that I've had at 2,000 around, I haven't. And I think I've averaged sort of 5-6 payments from some of them. So they've certainly paid for themselves. But yeah, it's not a good habit to get into. It's, you know, taking a risk, moving your stock to try and save your accounts is not a good habit to get into. You may get away with it once or twice, but the one time you don't get away with it, you lose all your accounts. The simple answer is the only way to trade is wait for a setup, take the trade, regardless of what happens, move on. It is easier said than done, and it does take time to be able to deal with, you know, it's great when they win, but when they lose, that's often when you can start to sort of panic a little bit. One, maybe not so much, but if you lose 2 trades in a row, that's probably a good time to give up. And I have mine set at 2 losses anyway, so. But I've set an account now at $500 loss as opposed to locking my stop. So at worst, my losing day shouldn't be any more than $500. Not really much you can do here. It does look like it's working up. Trouble is, there are probably quite a bit of liquidity around this area. Maybe, you know, a couple of pushes up. Maybe traders thinking this day may end up bearish. Don't donate your money, John. That's a good point. Yeah, I kind of, when that happened Friday, I kind of was expecting it. You know, sometimes you just go through a little bit of a rough spell, don't you? And I kind of knew that I was, you know, it was on the cards, put it that way. So it's happened. But strangely enough, I was actually really okay after. I thought I'd be gutted, but I wasn't. I felt really good, actually, and really positive. I just processed it, thought about it for a bit, had a couple of whiskers, as you do, had a chat to my wife about it. And she went, well, you know, it happens. You just got to move on. So that's when I picked up the these Tradeify accounts. I thought, you know, I've made some money, so my bank account is looking quite kind of nice and healthy. So I thought I'd have a few of those. Yeah, I'm guessing so. Excuse me just a second. Yes, Daryl. Straight to funded, bud. With a discount, I think they worked out $320 a piece. Now, if you get one payment, I picked up 4 of them, so about $1,200, fraction over, about $1,300. If you get one payment off one of the accounts, that more than covers that cost. So I'm pretty confident I can get to payment. You know, I don't seem to have problems getting PAs up to payment. So that's the only reason I decided to do them rather than going down the. I've got to say the evaluations, blowing them. It frustrates me now. I'm not a fan of. I'm kind of hoping Apex goes straight to funded. I know they've talked about it before in the past, and I know I had an email last week sometime. Let me read it. I think most of you guys have had it. Although it did say, let me have a look. It did say a message from Apex Trader Funding. Special affiliate letter. So whether it was just sent to affiliates or not, I don't know. I think most of you guys, in fact, no, I'm sure a lot of you guys had it. It was just talking about some of the things people are doing and so on, edging accounts. I think Alpine is... I don't think Alpine does himself any favours. I've heard Alpine talk about it doesn't matter, just run the account up. It doesn't matter if you it doesn't matter. You can take a risk because all you got to do is trade for 8 days. I know he's mentioned that's what he does on some occasions. Don't get me wrong. I'm aware you can do that, but the trouble is he's kind of he has a lot of people watching him. So I know it was a lot why they changed the rules last time, what he was doing with the open range and letting the accounts with a stop. Because when they mentioned it, they more or less mentioned him without actually mentioning his name. But they did say, we're excited of what's coming over the next few weeks and months. We're rolling out some new program products, features and tools. The best is yet to come. So I'm hoping they do some sort of... I think evaluations are great for maybe newer traders who want a little bit of experience but don't want to spend a lot of money. But people who, you know, can start to get regular payments can move straight to a funded without, you know, without all the messing around that kind of the evaluations give. I'm hoping they do anyway. So US prop firms. They promised risk management tools and report previous. Nothing came from it. Yeah, I know I thought stuff would have come out by now. But hopefully it does come out. I'm hoping they go. The thing is, at the end of the day, I wouldn't say people are schemers and scammers. There are rules, and it's kind of like a legal loophole. You can't blame someone. If Apex have said, if you make a mistake or you risk too much, as long as you trade another 8 days, they've given us the tools. People know that if you make a mistake, it's no issue. You can, but if they set the rules like that and people follow the rules, you can't moan at people for doing it. But the trouble is, if you extend those rules too much and make it very hard for people, people are going to start to move elsewhere. But what I will say is, if you're trading relatively normally and not just going for pure pot luck, I don't think it's going to affect those traders so much. I don't doubt there are people, there may be two friends and they both got accounts and one of them goes long and one of them goes short. I dare say there's all sorts of stuff going on. Now, they're in that business. They're going to be aware of it. It's their business to be aware of it. So there's bound to be. There is in every walk of life. I think that goes straight up there, to be honest with you. So I'm going to leave that like that. Is Apex open to us or to US? Is that what you're saying? They're open to anybody. I've got Apex accounts. So they're open to anybody, yeah. Within reason, there are a few countries that you can't. But if you're from anywhere in the US or Canada or over that side of the pond or UK, most places in Europe, yep, United States, you're fine. Absolutely. And they're on offer at the moment, 90% off, only for a couple of days. So if you are relatively new to them, that's the kind of price you want to pay, really. They are a US company, they certainly are, yeah. This isn't trading, but verification. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't blame people, can you? It's exactly the same, Tony. It's exactly the same in this country. You know, a lot of these big companies pay limited tax because there are legal loopholes. You can't blame people if they use legal loopholes to get out of paying something. Can you pass Tradeify in one day? I'm not sure. There are 3 different variations of Tradeify. You've got the straight to funded, which I've gone for. I'm not sure what the others are, to be honest with you. There are 2 types of evaluations, but I'm not sure. I didn't really. To be fair, with the price you pay for the valuation, I prefer to go down the Apex route because they're cheaper. But yeah, I've gone for the straight to funded. It just saves me messing around with evaluations. I trade them stupidly, if I'm honest. So I wanted to try and. I'm not sure whether you can in a day. I've got a feeling you can't. I'm not sure. 2 legs up. So I'll to know what's going on here at the moment. This company, Live for Traders Fair. It's part of the model, isn't it? It's part of the model. It's going to happen. What I like, gives me comfort, is I know I've had more money out of Apex than they've given me, than I've paid them. So, excuse me a second. I forget what I was saying now. Apex lost millions now. They stop people from withdrawing money. I think if you follow the rules, you're okay. But I don't know what they're going to do about. So if all of a sudden now, if I got into a trade like I got into a trade Friday, moved my stop, went, I don't know, $1,500 into the red, which was clearly risking too much and not being sensible. And if I managed to get that back, the market went in my way. That's, I think, what they're trying to find ways around. Now, that's not how you want to be trading anyway. You don't want to be doing what I did Friday. In fact, it's the worst thing to do. So it's hard to know what they're going to do, how they're going to mitigate that. But whether they bring in new rules or not, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? These companies need to get... Absolutely. While they're paying you every month, you're a burden to them. But if you're trading okay, I think they're the ones that got no issues with paying. But yeah, I think it's definitely better for the company, isn't it, to get you onto a live account after, you know, you've had 1 or 2 payments or something like that. They want newbies blowing. Yeah, absolutely. They make a lot. The thing is, what we got to realise is for the traders that blow in accounts, they're making money. For the traders that are making money on PA accounts, they're paying that money. So you need the guys in blowing to pay for the guys that are earning on the PAs. And I've, like most of you, been both. I've been the guy that's been throwing a ton of money into failed evaluations, but now I'm making. So, you know, it's kind of when you start, you lose money. When you get better, you win money. So you kind of get it back and then you get a fresh new. So, you know, we kind of need both. Well, you certainly need, you can't have one without the other. You know, there's no money to pay us if there aren't any effects. It's exactly the same with the markets. We're not going to win money in the market. We're not going to make money in the markets if there's not traders in there losing it. So it's kind of a, you kind of need both, you know, both sort of sides of it. So, you know, I don't know. Let's have a look. I'm just wondering if this is going to turn now. We're going to come across some liquidity here. Okay, we're coming up to overnight highs here. So is this going to sell off? In fact, this is a good time sometimes to have a look at Bookmap. Just find out what's up here order-wise. Yeah, there's orders around the 10, which is here. Yeah, it's a bunch of sell orders here. There is buyers around 58. So if this does pull back, there's buyers there which may jump back in on that up to the top. But there is orders up here at 59.10, which is right at the top of this, and I've got this marked. Right there. So see what happens. Open your account in the future and you'll be better. Everything is a lie. The guy John is disgusting. It's like politics. Yeah, he got caught out, didn't he, that one time, and didn't look good. Excuse me a second, I've got an alarm going off somewhere. Excuse me a second. So that was my wife's alarm to finish work. She went out without her mobile this morning. So, let's have a look. Yeah, Dan's got that same chart. Okay, I'm just going to take a bathroom break. I'll be a quick minute. Okay. See what we get here. The ATR is not too bad today, so So if we get a second entry long off here with 3 tests, I don't think that's that bad. Got to get down here, really. I'd like to get below there. In fact, if we can break below both of those and then sit up, I just don't know whether it'll come down that low. I mean, it is. That bar is right off that key entry point. There's no room to the highs. Certainly no three points for me. Come on, come down. Your long gear. My gut feeling is this is going to come down here. So I'd be interested to know where your stop is. So I know there's a few people. I know Marco's put second entry long triple test will be nice here. It's exactly what I'm looking at. 2 legs down. 1, 2, 3 triple test stuff here. Stops at the EMA, is it? It's going a bit sideways now, so I think it's more likely to come down. Okay, there is 2 legs back. Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to. Looking for another bounce here. Trouble is, we're getting close to these highs here. So you don't know whether sellers are coming in early. I don't think they will. I'd like to break below there and then turn. It has now. See what happens here. I'm going to get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
Bar's not good enough.
Order cancelled.
In fact, I haven't reloaded my... I haven't reloaded. No, it hasn't made any better. There is an
order
order
submitted.
on this chart, 2 legs down. That doesn't look too bad. Trouble is that's a doji, so it's a tough one. So I might have to wait for a higher low. Something I don't like about this.
Order
I'm
canceled.
just going to sit tight, I think, at the minute. It's going a bit sideways here, so it may work, it may not. It doesn't look bad on here, to be honest with you, but I'm just not a massive fan at the moment. Well, it is working. 3 points I go for, bud. I don't think there's 3 points to the top anyway. We are getting very close to overnight highs. So if I got in there, tick above there, that's where mine would have to hit to push through. Now all of a sudden, look, that big bullish bar there, it's triggered. It's just a little bit sideways here, and I don't like this. So it's hard to know. It's one of those ones that it may work and it may not work. It certainly made a scalp for a point, so Mac may mark it for the triple test. But the trouble is, as Mac said, it's got to close. Yeah, it would have worked. It's okay. I've got no problem leaving something. Just tick bar first glance when you get a chance. Please let me know where you got the bar size indicator. Are you on the stream, Tyler? Are you? Someone's just messaged me about the bar size indicator here. And here actually. So if anybody doesn't know, let me just open it up. That's it there, bar size counter. Let me just send him a picture of it. Just send him these pictures. There is a higher low there, but there's a triple test at the top there, so I'm just not sure about this. It's such a tiny break and a push up. It may work. Yeah, it's stacking up now. Did it work on here? I've got a feeling it didn't. So if I got in a tick above there, I'm going to go for 3. It wouldn't have hit it yet. I think it probably will, because there's a bearish bar there which is triggered. If it breaks above there, it'll hit that next. So I think if it gets above this, it'll push up. But that's where I'd have got in. I don't think it was a bad trade, to be honest with you. It just looked a little bit... It's a tough one, isn't it? The bit that worries me about going long so far... Now, this to me at the moment just looks like a range. Now, I'm going long right into the tops. So if there's a lot of liquidity up here and a lot of sellers maybe holding onto a position, the more it struggles to get up, eventually the more chance it'll got to be coming down. They may protect that area. That's what I'm guessing anyway. I'm just kind of, using what I'd be thinking if I got in here. So it's a tough one. So do I really want to be going long right into this? I don't think it's the worst worst idea in the world. But it's a tough one, isn't it? So it is kind of a range. So it doesn't look that bad. It is clearly 2 legs down. I wouldn't call that necessarily a triple test. It may push down to try it and then push up. But it's a second entry long, and I think it's probably going to get to the top, which it has. It may go a bit higher. It may continue up. But that's where price would need to get to give me my 3 points. Now, I could take 2 if I wanted to. There's no issues there. If it's a great setup, but there's only 2 points available, I shouldn't be turning my nose up at it. But we're just getting close to the tops here. So if it breaks above there, it'll hit that, I think. I'll be surprised if it doesn't now. It's a tick away, yeah. Okay, so as soon as it jumped above there was about to be a few stops. It jumped straight into that profit. So it would have worked for 3 points. I don't think it was a bad trade. At the moment, I've got this. It looks like a break here, but on this chart, it's fitting, and it doesn't look like we've had a break. So, I don't know, it's one of those things, isn't it? But I also look at the 15 range as well now, and you just don't know. I'll be going along there. Is this going to come back? It's a tough one, isn't it? So at the moment, a lot of times this can look really nice. It really can. And other times, not so nice. But this is definitely a plus, having this in my arsenal. Even if you can give me an extra 2 or 3 trades a week, that'd be great. There's nothing major obvious here at the moment that I can see. The trade looked okay here. It's just something about it I didn't like on here about going along into it. I've got these new accounts now, and I feel like I've kind of got a fresh start. So Dan's just published Max account, charts, and he's got that like that. Max got it like that, in which case we haven't had a break, and funnily enough, that's what this is more or less like. So so there's Max chart there. So he's got it running from right at the bottom there, touch, and he's got this as not having a break of a channel. He had that first, and then he's adjusted it. So whether that's set in stone or not, I don't know, but it's pretty much got the same thing we have. See what I mean about that extended bottom that Dan did? I said Mac will probably have it, and he has. I've got to say, Dan is probably the closest trader I've ever seen compared to Mac. It is almost like Mac's double. Which is not a bad thing. It's a plus. So 2 legs back. If that was a little bit more bullish, if that had finished on its highs or close to its highs, I would have had a go at that. Because it would have been a triple test. Trouble is, it's a tick off a doji. It's a tick off a completely neutral doji, so it's not good enough, I don't think. And if I took that and it triggered me and it came down lower, people would go, why did you take that? It's a doji, or close to. So But here it looked okay. It looked nice and it did work. So perhaps I should just take the trade. It worked. Took a bit of time, but it worked. It doesn't matter if it takes time. Does it work? That's the point. 2 clear legs back. And you're bound to have some stops up here. So even if you can get out at the top there, and I don't think I should refuse a trade because it hasn't quite got enough. To, if even though I go for 2.5 points there, mind you, if it breaks above there, it'll probably break above there, and that will give me the points. But it worked. That's the main thing, and it was 2 nice legs. So I'm going to mark it actually. So let's mark it with a green arrow. As in, it was a setup, but I didn't take it. So up to the top, we broke above this line and we've struck a bearish bar. So is this now going to come down, or is it going to break a bit higher? Was put off by the doji. Yeah, to be honest with you, we all know, you, Daryl, Karina, and all that. We've all been trading long enough to know now the signal bar is important, and that just wasn't good enough. And you did the right thing to not take it. Now, it doesn't matter whether it works. The signal bar wasn't good. 1 tick lower, that'd be a complete doji. I don't see how Mac would mark that. Mac says it would have to finish in the top third, and it hasn't. Now, as it's a triple test and it has broken below liquidity, he may mark that as a green, slightly more aggressive. Be interesting to see what he does. Now, on this chart, different story. It looked really nice, so perhaps I should just trust this. If I'd have taken that, I'd have been up 3 points. But to be fair, I'm still relatively new, and it's trusting this at the moment because we had a second entry short the other day and it didn't work. And the setup looked great, so it is a little bit finicky, so you've got to be a little bit careful. And looking at this, the fact that we have broken below liquidity and it closed above here was probably good enough as maybe a slightly riskier trade, maybe a green one. So in other words, I could have probably taken this one. And there was a higher low. Both worked. I wouldn't take the higher low. You're going into support there. But so I trade long enough to know this is going to... that's meant look like... Yeah. I'll see you there. I think I feel like I've already been to mental institution, as we call it. What was that film labelled on about the mental institution? He's going to the mental institution. That was a wedding singer, wasn't it? Adam Sandler. Trade micros and get confident on that setup. Yeah, maybe. To be honest with you, the setup here, I didn't think it was good enough. But you probably expect it to work more than not. But on this side, it's just a case of just building up a bit of trust. But yeah, you could. I mean, but I've got this set that my max risk is $150, as assuming I can get in at the right time, which I probably could have done there. So it wasn't so much, I mean, I'm trading one contract, risking $150 doesn't really stress me so much. But there was something about this I just didn't like, because whether we were finding support there because we were getting close to these highs, you don't know whether it's going to break through. And I had my point profit a little bit above here, so broke before you. So is this going to continue? Let me have a look. In fact, we're still in this channel at the moment. Here's a higher low. There. Trouble is now we are going into support. So at the moment, my gut feeling would tell me we're quite likely ranging. We opened here, we've come from the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the top. So we've kind of had an even bounce at the moment. So, but Max got this as having not had a break. In fact, probably even drag that to there and squeeze that up a little bit, and that actually fits. And I think that looks a bit better. That way we are testing that line there and there. So it may push higher, but what I don't want to be doing is going long into support, because we have been up here 1, 2, 3 times and then it dropped. So it may be harder to get through than you think. May even get a lower high here. That big bullish bar has triggered. So we've got a bearish bar there. This bullish bar's triggered, so it may come down. I wouldn't know here. I mean, it's a flick of a coin. It could go up above all this, or it could come down. I don't know. I wouldn't like to guess. Could do either or. I know we're going into support, so if it's going to turn, this is the area it's going to turn. And we have got a bearish bar there, so a lower high there is a possibility, in which case that bull bar is potentially no more. So whether it will hold or not, who knows? It's a toss of a dice, toss of a coin for me, whether that gets stopped out or not. Sorry, whether this level holds or not. I certainly wouldn't want to go long into support here. See, if you take that bullish bar, that is not what you want to see. There is a line there, so it may hold. But I'm not holding my breath. I'll be surprised if it comes down that close and doesn't stop it. But, you know, there is a line up there, so it may hold. Should pick Matt chat. Yeah, I mean, Matt's got that marked as a channel. And from what I can see, we haven't had a break, so it may hold. The only slight issue I have is if we get to the top here, we get to the top, and we're struggling to get up here. We've gone up to the midline and pulled back, and we've tried again, and it's pulling back again. Yeah, there it goes. I'll be amazed if it doesn't get stopped out. It may hold. You never know. But because it's going into support, for me, it's just a risky place to go long. I'll be surprised if it's come down. When it started to push, yeah, it's broke below. It's one of those things, you know, as much as it's off that line, the bit to stop you to going long there is purely the fact that you're going into support, and it's shown there by that little pullback and possibly even a break. Yeah, bad luck there, mate. It's a tricky place to go along there, right into that, especially when we've been up here 3 times. The time to hold back in a long is now. I'll tell you now, the people will be thinking about going short here. Whether this will come down, it depends. There may be a break. It really depends. Mac will change his channel from time to time, so there may even been a break. Short on this, fail second entry long. Yeah, it's certainly a better place to short than it is long, that's for certain. Now, whether it will work or not, if this is a break, it may have another go, but you're short, are you now? Yeah, you just never quite know what's going to happen when we get up to support. Is he going to push through it, or is he going to reject off it? It's not really giving me much at the moment. The long failure would certainly be a better option. Shot on revenge. Yeah, we've all been there, mate. Some of us relatively recently, like Friday for me. Well, it wasn't so much a revenge trade. It was more of a shit panic. And then once you move, you stop. Excuse me a sec. Okay, sorry about this. I've got to drop my daughter off. in about 10 minutes, so I'll only be gone for about 10 minutes. So I'll take an extended break. So, I mean, if this channel is valid, this is a first break, so we may have 2 attempts to go, and it may push up, or it could do the complete opposite. John Friday was not willing to take a loss. Yeah, absolutely. To be fair, it was kind of, I knew it was coming. It was kind of, it's been 5 months since I've done that. Well, since the beginning of the year. I haven't done it this year. And sometimes something just, you panic for a second and you just think, I don't want to lose. And before you know it, I kind of knew it was, I knew it was on the cards, put it that way. You know, when you start making money, that it doesn't, on the trade before as well. Yeah, that's what I mean. I kind of felt like it was overdue. But I processed it and got some more accounts and moved on and just put some things in place now. A daily loss limit I've put in place now. So is this now reversing from here, or is it going to make another attempt? Press all the reasons. Maybe. Yeah, I felt like I don't know, I just felt like jumpy lately, and I don't know, felt like I couldn't seem to settle. But it's always good. Who was it mention it? I had a few messages actually. Let me have a look. Sorry, emailing. Someone said something about sometimes you need a bucket of cold water in your face, and I think that's just what I needed when you're on a winning streak. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, it may be that, mate. It may be that. But I mean, I had an okay May. But something just didn't feel right. I felt like I was on borrowed time, for want of a better word. But, you know, it's happened. And really, the only thing you can do is just to learn from it and put it behind you. I've set now daily loss limit of $500 per account. And I've selected the... what's they call it? Unsomething. So even if I'm in a current trade and it goes 500, it'll liquidate the trade. So effectively, my very worst day shouldn't be any more than a $500 loss. And I've recovered from days like that quite a few times. So I think it's good if you've got the tools to put in place. I think it's useful to use them. If it was either that or locking me stop, but the trouble is if you mess up putting your stop in place, you can't move it. So the beauty is though, now I've got that $500 limit, I'll have that in mind, so there's no point in moving a stop, I don't think. And there's certainly no point if I lose 2 trades and I'm down $400, there's no point in entering into another trade because I know there's a chance I could get stopped out before I've even lost the trade. So I've just got that thing in place. No, you can't move it further away. So for instance, if I put my stop in the wrong place, I can only move it towards profit, not away. And it depends. Yeah, I just found this was a better option. So I could do that. Yeah, I could set it to that. But generally, I haven't moved my stop for a long while. I had a message from a guy a while back saying you've been moving your stop a lot lately, and I decided there and then not to do it again, and that's, I think, the first time. Not so much. If I put it in the wrong place, then I'm kind of... did you get the email from Apex for live account migration? No, mate. I've only got 1 account. Well, I've 2 technically. No, I haven't, bud. Generally, up until Friday, I haven't moved my stop for a long while. I think they're trying to encourage more people onto live. The trouble is, I don't know in what form it happens. Do they lump? I'm sure someone a while ago told me if you got 10 accounts with, I don't know, $3,000 in or whatever, they clump them all together, or lump them all together, for want of a better word. I kind of like the fact that they're separate, but ultimately it doesn't change anything financially. I haven't moved my stop loss away for quite a while now, as opposed to Friday. A few months ago I did it a lot, but then I stopped doing it. But Friday, yeah, was a completely different ball game. I mean, I could still do that what's it, but it's setting something. The only bit that worries me is sometimes I'll take it towards price and then maybe bring it back a bit. They sent emails to everybody yesterday. Maybe telling you about it. I thought you meant actually that you've been moved on. Let me have a look. I had an email last week. When was it? Wednesday. Let me have a look here. So, possible second entry long here. The only issue I have is we've been up to more or less to the high, so I don't know whether this is going to continue higher or not. Yeah, there's 90% off at the moment, just for a couple of days. But I did get an email Wednesday just talking about there's going to be changes, but I can't remember it said anything about live account. Maybe I didn't read it all. Yeah, I kind of, with the stop thing, I kind of feel like I should have some responsibility. The $500 is kind of like a fail-safe in case something goes wrong, but I don't want to put it all automated. I feel like I need to take some responsibility and some responsibility in not moving my stop myself. Now, Friday was a different matter. Friday was just a bad day for me anyway. I just wasn't in the right frame of mind, and it did feel like it was a long time coming. It was on the cards. I felt like I'd taken riskier trades, and I think it was, when you feel like this is going to last, like, they're coming to a conclusion type thing. So nothing you can really do at the moment. We may get a second leg down. It's hard to say. Channel with a break. Could come down further. There may be something wider down. It may be rejected off the top, although it doesn't. I wouldn't say this really looks like kind of rejection. So what's it doing? Are we just getting two legs down and it's going to push higher? But we've turned where it was kind of likely that we may. So it's hard to know whether this thing's now going to start to work down or whether it's going to still push up and have another go. My concern is we come down for a second leg. So taking a trade here is risky. This is an area that's likely to get caught up. Well, it did anyway. If you took a long, this will be the higher low channel with a break, but I don't really want to go long here at the moment. I just want to sit tight here because we may get something like that down to these lows, in which case that will get taken out, or even a bullish bar there, likely. So at the moment, I'm just sitting tight. if this is rejecting off here and it's starting to push down, it's likely to come down. Excuse me. If there's a break, we may get 2 legs, so it's likely to come down. So I'm just sitting tight at a minute. Yeah, I don't want to get into a long trade here. I won't be surprised if this comes down. Tradeify straight to funded. You can still pass a challenge. Yes, you can. There are 3 different types of account. There are 2 types of evaluation, and there is 1 straight to funded. The straight to funded I did. At least I'm up then straight making money without. I find evaluations a pain, to be honest with you. You say you still have to pass a challenge. You're actually you're in a PA account as soon as you pay. If I get to $3,000 in these 4 accounts, I can withdraw 2,000, and then obviously there's a 90-10 split. So I am effectively straight into a PA account, if that's what you meant. You said Tradeify straight to funded. You still have to pass a challenge. No, it's not really a challenge. It's just it's rules that you have. You know, with Apex, PA rules that you still got to follow. We got a channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. Now, I wouldn't go long here. I'd expect this to come down for a second leg. But would I want to go short here either? It's kind of 2 legs up. There is a bearish bar, but it's very tempting to go short there. Trouble is, it is a little bit stacked up. That bar's no good anyway. It's better on here, but it's stacked up and we've triggered it and this is moving up. So I'm not getting involved here. It's hard to know what's going on. Just hope the market makes a decision and goes one way or the other. Yeah, that's no good anyway. It was just a possibility. We had this channel down, 2 attempts to push higher, may come down, break these lows and give us 2 legs down before it eventually moves up and attacks that. That's if it does. There are no guarantees it will. We have come up to support before and pulled back, but this doesn't seem to look to me like there's enough sellers in here pushing this thing down, because it is looks like it's trying to push up. Having said that, with a big channel like that, relatively big, I'd expect 2 legs down. And a lot of the times when you get into trades this early, you're in this congestion, down, across and down. My gut feeling is this comes down, which is why I generally stay out of trades like this. they look like they're pushing up, but in effect, what they're doing is kind of trapping longs in there before it has that whoosh second push down. So my gut feeling is I would prefer at least 2 legs or 2 attempts to push lower. And if you look on this chart, we've got a leg down. There's a bullish bar there, which currently in a trade. There's a higher low there, which means you're currently in a trade. And there's also 2 bearish bars. There's kind of a failure there, which has triggered, but it's stacking up. So I would like to see this come down and clear this out before it pushes higher, but whether it will or not. Did you get? I got the 50k ones. What I like about the 50k ones is you get the account to 3,000, you can withdraw 2,000. With 150k, you've got to get the account to 9,000, and you can only withdraw 3. So you've got to have 6,000 left in there. So this seemed to be the slightly better option, I think. I like the ratio of what you got to make compared to what you can withdraw. If you get an Apex account to 3,000, you can only take 900. You can take double that. Now there is a 90-10 split, but even $2,000 minus 100, it's still $1,900 compared to the 900 you can take from the Apex. So it's sorry, 1,800 you get. So it's double what you can take from Apex. So I'm going to move that up here. See if we get a second leg down. We may not, but I'll be surprised if that does just push straight up. 25. I'm not sure, but let's have a look. Pricing, so the 25. So straight to funded, that's so you got a $1,000 trailing drawdown. Let's have a look, see if it shows us. I can't find it now. I don't know whether it's 2,000. No, I'll be guessing really. Where did I see it? I can't remember where I saw it now. I can't find it on the page. Payouts and withdrawals. Straight to funded payouts. There we go. Okay. Okay, so for the $25,000, this is the straight to funded. You've got to get the account to $1,500 and you can take 1,000. With a 50,000, you've got to get the account to 3,000 and you can take 2,000. 100, you've got to get the account to 6,000 and you can take 2,500. But this is the big one. I kind of wanted to go this, but I realised you've got to get the account to $9,000 before you can take 3. It's quite a lot, that. So you're only being able to take 1/3 of it, whereas you can take 2/3 of it with the others. So that's kind of what I'll ask what attracted me. The plan is to take out and to take some profits and to invest a little bit. Yeah, let's see if this comes down for a second leg. Yeah, so yeah, what I'm going to do is try and grow them. Why can't I? Okay. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Anytime. Yeah, so yeah, $1,500, you can take 1,000. So it's not bad, I don't think. It's not bad. I wish Apex had hurry up and okay this payment. It's been 5 days now. They seem to be taking a bit of time. Yeah, not completely switched over. I've still got 2 Apex accounts. One that I've just passed. I did an eval earlier, and I passed that one. And I've got one. What you can see him here. That's the Apex that the evaluation I passed earlier, and that is the one that's waiting on a payment. So the plan is to get up to 5 accounts here again, and then have 5 with Tradeify, and then maybe a bit with Take Profit Trader as well. I think it's a good idea to have a bit of everything. You know, if you have all your eggs in one basket, you never know, do you? I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not saying that a certain company may go out of business. You just don't know, do you, what the future hold. Fast Track Trading did, didn't they? They disappeared, mind you. In all fairness, the guy running that was a complete moron. He was a complete shit show. So that doesn't surprise me. I had my opinions of him really early when he was in a Discord arguing with somebody. It just didn't come over very professional. Let's tidy this up a bit. So channel with a break. 2 attempts to go lower. My gut feeling is I wouldn't want to get into a long year. Not that we really has anything, just in case. No. So the accounts I got, I'll show you. There's 35% off at the moment. So it's 509 is the top price, the full price. There's 35% off at the moment, which takes it down to 330. Now, the way I see it, let's say 330, okay? Let's just mark that down. So let's call that $330. So now, most of the time, the Apex account. Now, we got 90% off for a couple of days, but that doesn't often happen. So I usually wait till 80% off. So let's call them $35. Now, I take 5 of them. For every 5, I usually pass 1. So times 5, that's $175. And there's 100, at the moment it's 40, so $140 for your PA fee. So the price I pay by the time I've messed around with evaluations and paid the fee ends up costing me $315. Straight to funded cost me an extra $15. Now, the difference is, if I get an Apex account to $3,000, I can only take $900. Whereas the Tradeify account to $3,000, I can take $2,000. So there is a 90-10 split, but when you take away the $200, I can still make $1,800 or withdraw $1,800, which is double what I can withdraw from the Apex account. So I like it. I nearly got 1 or 2 last week, but I just thought I'll see how things go. So this was that other leg that I was thinking about. So 2 legs down. Mind you, we've had 1, 2, 3 attempts to push off and a big bearish bar. So now is this thing coming down? It certainly could. I mean, that's a relatively big bar off the top. So 1, 2, we've tried to break above this 3 times now, and a big solid bearish bar. So would I really want to go long now? Probably not, actually. Now we may get 2 legs down. It may go long off this, but it might not. No, the $50,000 accounts. See, for us, Tony, they work out about £250. And after the 90-10 split, I get $1,800, which is about, I don't know, it's about £1,350. So if you take off your $250, you're $1,100 in profit if you get one to pay. I'm quite confident I get them all up there to pay. I don't really have so much of a major problem now. Holding them again and again and again and again and taking multiple payments I've done. But I kind of knew that my trading's been a bit impatient lately, and I kind of knew it was on the cards that Friday was going to happen at some point. Yeah, I like the end of day drawdown. I like that. You know, it just gives you that lift. Now, the drawdown is slightly less. It's $2,000 instead of $2,500. But you do have the end of day, which I kind of like. There's a 20% consistency rule, which stops people taking big trades. So that mitigates taking, you know, going for big trades and trying to get lucky. And, you know, Apex talk about if you've made too much profit, they word it windfall gamble, which I think is wrong. You know, if you trade one contract and you happen to catch a big move, I don't think they should say, we can't pay you this much this month because of windfall gamble. I think they shouldn't use the word gamble in there or windfall. They should just sort of leave it as you've taken a trade with profit above the 30% rule, so currently we can't pay you. I don't think it's fair. Joe uses Tradeify too, does he? Yeah, I think a few people now, if they're making a bit of money, are taking up some of those. I don't think he's got it at the moment. I know Nutty had some. He had the 150,000 ones, and he got up to the 9,000. Took 3 out of each of them. I think I'm not sure whether he blew them or not. So we've had a break and pushed up for a new high. Let's see what happens whether this thing goes higher. In fact, I'll be taking my daughter soon. I might as well finish then. Actually, I've done 2 hours now, so she'll probably be another 10 or 15 minutes yet. You on about the Apex one, bud? Or are you on about the I think it does show them on the website, I think. Let me just open up. If you're on about Tradeify accounts, yeah, just says it on the top there, bud. Let's have a look. Use the code SPRING as in months. Summer, spring, autumn. So spring capitals, that gets you 35% off. I have applied for an affiliate, but yeah, spring. So as in before summer, all capitals, and that give you 35%. I have applied, but I'm waiting for some reason. I don't know why. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Yeah, some people had a much better bar than me. This is Thomas Wade's. So he had a nice bar there, 1, 2, 3, really nice bar. I think a few had a nice bar. I did reload, and I'm sure I said another couple. Thomas Wade, that's not Thomas Wade, sorry, Pray and Hold. He had a nice bar, so did he. and him. It was just me that didn't. Strangely enough, let me just check. I've got break at end of day selected. Not sure. Okay, so it did what it was supposed to do, break and pushed up. Use a second chart. Oh, do they really? Yeah, that might be why. Yeah, Marco had the same bar as me, didn't take a trade there. I don't think Dan did either, actually. Yeah, Marco had the same bar as me, didn't take anything. Excuse me just a second. Okay, so we got a break, 2 pushes to a new high. So is this going to continue up or is it going to come down? Who knows? Yeah, 330. Yeah. That's not bad. By the time you mess around with evaluations, by the time you pay that 140 for the PA fee, you're more or less paying for the same. Anyway, I certainly am. I'd say I pass 1 in every 5 I take, so they kind of add up. So yeah, I like him. I like him. They come over pretty good actually. Daily drawdown. Sorry, end of day drawdown, which I think is useful, especially for you guys who go for runners. See, yeah, Thomas Wade put a video of a runner on yesterday. It went up 10 points and came out and took him out for break even. I don't quite know why he didn't take some profit. I think sometimes there's trying to go for too much, but it went up 10 points. Now he trades one contract for his run. It went up 10 points. There's $500 and it came down and took him out for break even. I can't see the point in not taking something out of that. I mean, when it goes for 10 points, at least get 5 points out of it, at least get something. Have a good rested day, or you done, are you, Tony? You take it easy, pal. What about here, are you? Yeah, I did try something a minute ago. Yeah, possible. My only issue I have is we got a break here, 2 pushes to a new high. So I'm always cautious about getting into a long trade. As soon as a channel plays out, I like to just go to give it a little bit of time and see where it goes. Yeah, Thomas Wade's put this. I did it a bit ago, about 5 minutes ago. He's put that. I just don't like this. I just don't like that. I'm not sure at the moment. Martha, just leave it at that. Excuse me a second. So it's a tough one there. There may be something like that. That doesn't look too bad. trouble is, after a break of this, 2 pushes to a new high, I think you got to sit down. How the payouts work, not sure, mate. I'm guessing, I'm sure I read somewhere that they used plain or what's the other one? I've got accounts with both of them. I'm sure they use plain for the international trades. I'm not 100% sure though. Yeah, I'm in the Discord, so I've just dropped the message on the Discord, see if someone gets back to me. Yeah. For the 50k accounts, when you get to 3,000, you can withdraw 2,000, which I think is a good deal. 3,000, you can only withdraw 900 from an Apex PA account. Excuse me a sec. Okay, guys, I'm just going to drop my daughter off. So I'm going to be about 7 or 8 minutes. So I'm just going to take an extended break. So I'm just going to put this on the screen. I was just trying to phone my wife. I think she's coming home from work. So I was hoping she was going to take her. So unless she pulls up. So I'll be around about 8 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes, something like that. So I'll just take an extended break. So I'll leave that on the screen. I'll leave you guys to it. So I'll be about 8 minutes, somewhere around about there. Okay, problem solved. Wife's come. Wife's come back from work. You just put that on there. Excuse me a sec, it's all right, I'm just messaging Tradeify. It's in here. Okay. Yeah, I am live, yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, sorry about that. Is this losing a bit of momentum? Tough one, isn't it? It's kind of a little bit stacked up here. That concerns me. It's just stacking up a bit, isn't it? Just hurry up with that Apex account. 5 damn days it's been. Not much you can really do here. Is this struggling to get up any further? Let me have a look on Bookmap, see if that's showing us anything. There's orders up at 20 up here, so there's also quite a few around here as well, so yeah, it may pick up, bud. It's hard to say at the moment. Just to me, looks like we may be just... Oh, it's hard to say, really, isn't it? We may be losing a bit of momentum. We just... Especially once we got above this. What else have we got up here? It's hard to know whether this is going to come back down again. Sorry about that. Ah, okay. Excellent. Okay. I've just got a code now. So was just the affiliate. Let's have a look. Affiliate dashboard. Oh yeah, okay. Have I got a code or not? Profile. It's an exclusive. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Just get rid of that. Excuse me. It's Trump when you we need some movement, don't we? That's gone a bit stout. Generally, mate, yeah, it depends. Depending on what space I've got, generally I do, yeah. If it's a good setup, it'll always do it anyway. So yeah, I don't concern myself too much as long as I got space. I mean, if I needed to get out for the top, I don't mind getting a little bit less. I don't think you should turn down, a couple of good points if that's all you kind of got to play with. Some people do trade and use that as kind of guidance. But what I will say is if you look, let's just pick let's just have a quick look at this. So if I just pick Dan's chart was that last week, I think. Just pick Dan's chart. Let's see the trades he's marked. So that one, 3 points, that one, 3 points, that one, 3 points, all comfortably 3 points, that one and more, that one and more. That one made 3 points, that one made 3 points. Let me just check. Yeah, it should have done. That one made 3 points. So there's very few that don't, as long as they're good setups. Joe, here's another guy. That one, they're 5 points. That made 3. That made 3. That did, and that did. So you'll find very few that won't, to be honest with you. Let's find another one of Dan's or Marco's. Same again. That one there, did that make 3 points? That's 4 and 5. That, yeah, it should have done. It should have made 3 points. That one did, that one did, that one did. So it's very few that don't, to be fair. So as long as it's a good setup, I don't think it's an issue for the foreseeable future. The thing is, what you need to do, and it's something I still have issues with sometimes, when I've gone through and looked at the numbers work out in your favour financially, but you have to let each one play out. If you take profit early, the numbers won't work. So if you look at your last 50 trades and you go, if I took 2 points, I made 3,000. If I took 3 points, I'd be up 4,000. That's if you let everything run to either it hits your stop or it hits your profit. But if you start getting out early, which I can do sometimes, Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, you need to kind of let it run really to play the numbers. Yeah, it's hard to know what to do here. Yeah, I'll put a link. I've got a link at the moment. They like to give you a link, Tradeify at the moment, as an affiliate. And once you've brought in a bit of revenue, they'll give you a sort of a personal code. So I haven't got one at the moment. So I'll put a link in the description and put something on my screen. But I definitely like the sound of Tradeify. Anything that get me out of the habit of blowing tons of evaluations is only a good thing, I think. It's just stacking up at a minute. It is midday Eastern time, isn't it? So whether that's around lunch. So hopefully it does slowly seem to be winding up, doesn't it? But it's not going up very strong. So there is two legs down there on that chart. That one did work. Trouble is, it's a bit stacked up there. You don't know whether it's going to come down a bit lower. Nothing on here really, but that one did work. And there is a failure there. That one worked as well, and then a higher low. Just met the large measured moves. Oh, really? You got two up from there and there, have you? Yeah, we haven't we? Oh, from pre-market. Where's pre-market? I've got it from there and there. It's hard to know what's going on now. Oh, from there and there. Yeah, we're up there now, aren't we? So I mean, that looks like it's kind of just fitting. In fact, that would go right down the bottom. That would. Well, it's quite a boring day, really, isn't it? It's just been not a lot, really. I mean, this is just typical of this. With the exception of that, the triple test. If there was a better bar, I'd have had a go at that one now. I think a few people had better bars. I've now got a second chart up for the ES, but it's not much better, to be fair. I think that's the one, isn't it? 2 legs down, 1, 2, 3. It's slightly better, but not brilliant. That's the one with end of day deselected. What have I got? 2 days. Let's try 5 days, see if that makes it look any better. Okay. Yeah, it's a tick off its highs and it's above the EMA, so that actually looks a little bit better. It did work eventually. Pushed up, stacked a little bit, but eventually pushed up. So it is worth having a second chart. It's just nothing you can do up here, where it does seem to be going up in a channel, but we're right at the top, really. You've got to wait for a pullback of some sort. Inactivity rules on Tradeify. Some ask for 1 trade a week. I'm not sure. That seems a bit steep. I certainly take a trade a week, that's for certain. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I've certainly never gone through a week without taking a trade, put it that way. And obviously, if you go on holiday, I believe you're supposed to let them know. Some of these companies are, should have let them know, don't they? Get 2 legs down and get a bounce somewhere here. Not Yeah, Marco's got this. I think Dan had this. Now we've had an overshoot. I don't think it is. Not sure. Just slow now, isn't it? We're just getting nothing here. So we got now 15 minutes of just a few bars here. Super slow. God, this is a boring day, isn't it? For patience so far, yeah. It's not a bad idea having a day like this once in a while. It is useful to have that patience. I've been lacking a little bit of it lately. It's generally I'm okay at it, but you still penguin measure. Yeah, I'm still looking at them. If I see something obvious, I can just flick over to a micro and do it. Ever since I've discovered these range bars, there's enough setups on here to keep me going or to keep me happy. So I'm not paying as much attention to them. There's just not a lot here today anyway, really, is there, penguin wise? But yeah, I mean, if I see something obvious, I can just flick over to micros. If I see something obvious, but at the moment we just have nothing really, have we, to be honest with you? If nothing in the meantime, we can chat. You certainly can. I'm going to finish soon anyway. We're coming up nearly 3 hours. See if we can get a couple of legs back here and get something. I've extended that out. Maybe we can have a bounce somewhere here. These kind of days really help build. Yeah, they do. It's not about, you know, if I walk away after 3 hours of trading and I haven't taken a trade, I'm quite happy. Because, you know, I'd say one of the toughest, it's certainly challenging at times when you want to make money just to sit there and not take a trade. Unfortunately, you're going to have days like this and there really is nothing you can do about it. If you don't see a trade, really the best option is just to not take one. Nothing worse than trying to squeeze a trade that isn't that good, end up taking a loss. That's the one thing that frustrates me, is when my patience, I get into a trade. You know, but my patience is not too bad. It's been pretty good lately. I still have my moments. I think that's, you know, more on my mood maybe. But patience used to be really tough for me. I couldn't not take a trade, but you know, I'm okay with now. You can technically use penguin with the range charts, for example, if you a higher range chart, find 2 measured moves and put an order in a measure. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing around with this at the moment. But yeah, the trouble is at the moment, I got the ES, although I'm quite not happy not to take a trade on this. I prefer to take them on here. They're easy to manage. And at the moment above me, I've got the 15 range, just looking at a slightly bigger version of it, just for clarity. And I've just popped up, because I missed that trade earlier, that one there, I've just popped up another deselected end of day chart. I used to have one of these, and then when I started putting another chart, and I had a look, but But yeah, I mean, I can, you know, go down to a couple of micros for a bigger move on a chart as well. Absolutely. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So yeah, but what I will say is this, apart from today, I mean, if I was to find a trade on here today, that one worked nice. Now at the time, I don't know why I didn't take it. I think it was something to do with this here. But something took me out of it. But it did end up going on to work. Now that's the problem in real time. Sometimes doubts creep in, but looking after the fact, it was a typical setup right at the key entry point, 2 legs down, and it worked beautifully. So, you know, there are generally more setups on this. Not today isn't the best example of that, to be fair. Oh, sorry. But, you know, you're not always going to get great days. Just looking at some of the... Sorry, that's not the one. Let me just get rid of that. Just looking at some of the... where's the chart I was looking at with the pictures in? Stop it. Yeah, these ones here. Let's just have a look at this. Why is it coming up on there? Let's bring it over here. I mean, we just don't get days like this. I mean, look how many setups were there. That was the first one I'd have 100% taken. Triple test there as well. We got a channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. That's another one. Beautiful second entry long there. And that one, great triple test. Fail breakout, second entry long, whatever you want to call it. And that worked beautifully. So there's some really nice setups in here, I've got to say. And a few days have been like this. So, but a lot of the days, I don't take a trade in this if I'm nice and patient, because I don't see fantastic trades here anymore. Apart from that one, it didn't look good on mine. I know some people took it, but the bar didn't look great. But apart from that, there's not a lot I can see here. And we've been sat here now 3 hours, and I've not seen a thing. Now, I'd be interested to see which dozen Mac marks, but in all fairness, I can't see a decent trade here, to be honest with you, with the exception of maybe that one, but on my chart, as I say, not that good. On this one, straight away, the obviously one that comes to mind is that one there. Also, you may even look at that. There's a little micro there with a break and an attempt at a new low, and then there's a short, it's kind of like a short trap there, so that pushed up again. So you may argue that one, although it's a bit congested, to be fair, but it is off the key entry point. So there's a failure there. Second entry short triggered, fails, worked again. Now, in real time, it's easy to see these after the fact, but in real time, the first thing that's in your head there is it's congested. The plus is it is 2 legs back and it is off the key entry point. And it's off the bottom of the range, but there's no room to the highs. That's the kind of issue. But it's very easy for Matt to come and mark that one, mark the failure, mark the higher low, mark this, mark that. But in real time, we don't have that luxury of being able to see where price actually went. So I mean, this is horrendous at the moment. It's just so slow. So we are. So 30 minutes. We've done that. Just that little bit there in 30 minutes. God, that's so slow, isn't it? Now, I'm guessing that it's lunch on the East Coast at the moment. We're around about 12:30 there. So whether it's coming to the end of lunch or going on lunch, that might be why it's a little bit quiet. So if we get a couple of legs down, we may get something. But I'm going to give it about another 5-10 minutes and then I'm done for the day. 3 hours, I think, is enough for me. I may come back for a bit later. I don't know. I'm trying not to. I'm trying just to have my window. Sorry. And then kind of leave it at that. So if anybody else is interested in a Tradeify account, I have got it's not a code now, but I have got a link which I'll put in the description of my videos, and I'll put something on the chart. I only use them because they don't cost you guys anything extra. And as we know, we got the 90% of Apex just for today and tomorrow. So my code's up there, ukft. If anybody uses it, or you have used it, it's appreciated. Market putting you to sleep with it. I am having some yawning fits a bit, aren't I? It feels quite dark here, although it's quite dull outside, but it's quite dull here, so that might have something to do with it, mate. Let's just go slow. I'd rather the thing either move or not. We'll do something. We may be getting a second leg down here. Sorry, I don't mean to yawn. I haven't had my coffee today. I usually have a latte in the mornings, and I haven't. So that might be why. So let's see if we get a measured move here. 2 legs down. You have got to be careful here, though. Sometimes be a bit premature. It can trigger you and come down. Now, if this is a channel, I don't want to take that because there's just no room to the highs for a start. It's 8.86 at an 8 finish yet. There's just not enough room to the highs. If I go a tick above there, there's a 1.25. You get a point up to the highs. It's not enough, really. I got to get right up here. Can I rely on us coming up here? No, not really. Especially with this bit. There's a big vacant area there which could trigger and drop. So I don't want to take that. There's less than a point now. There's an extra tick in that. So, and looking on this chart, it's just stacked up. So unfortunately, I need a little drop out the bottom to gain me some interest. So maybe a couple of legs down, fell breakout down here somewhere with a bounce. So that's more or less made a measured move or a tick or so away. I need a little drop, clear out this, and possibly that liquidity wise before I'm ready to think about going long. It may hold that, but I'd like to see a bit of a drop below this. It's just no room now. It ain't finished yet. If this is a channel, this is right in the middle of it, so it could trigger you and drop down here. So bar's not great. No room to the tops, to be fair. At least it's moving a bit now anyway, so that's a plus. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Ooh. Okay, that bar's true. I just don't like it. There's just no room to the top. I'd like a little drop below here. Okay, I'm done, I think, to the day, folks. We've done over 3 hours today. It's just been a really slow day. It's just, you know, when you just get the feeling I'm just going to be sitting here for another half an hour for nothing. And I'm yawning like mad here. So I'm going to leave it there, folks. So best of luck if you're carrying on trading. Don't forget this Apex 90% off finishes tomorrow. So if you are interested, my code is ukft. As most of you guys know now, if you have used it or you're going to use it, it's much appreciated. So I'll leave you guys to it. Yeah, you too, but I'm bored now, to be honest with you. I'm just yawning like mad, so I need to wake myself up with a coffee or something. So I'll leave you guys to it. Have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll catch up again. What day is it? Tuesday, Wednesday tomorrow. Now, might be a bit of a hit and miss day for me. We got electricians in all day tomorrow, finally coming to finish wiring up these solar panels. We've got to have a couple of fans, so it might be a bit hit and miss. I don't know if they're going to have to switch electrics off. Usually they get most of it done with the testing, but there may be a bit of knocking or drilling. So I'm going to be here anyway, so hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will run smoothly, but just keep that in mind. So stay safe, have a great evening, best of luck to you, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.